We have cake and it's gender reveal cake. Before we get into the cake and before we get into the gender of the baby, I have a story time and I'm gonna be giving you all the details, so stay tuned. Hello to the girlies and the guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Priscilla.M.Kagiraha. I've never said all my full names on social media because I've been very active on TikTok, but I never really introduced myself. So on this page, we're gonna get to know me a little bit more and we're gonna be seeing a lot of different things. Those who have been following me on TikTok, get ready. I have so much in store for you. But for today, I'm gonna be giving you a story time. And yes, I'm pregnant. I'm about to be a mother. Yes, I'm pregnant and I'm about to be a mother. I'd like to start by saying that I have been a girl that has always been like, okay, I plan my life. Let's say I like to plan my life before everything happens and I like to be prepared. This is one thing that caught me off guard. Not really off guard, but like it's not something I'd prepared for. Oh my god, I intended to start the video with my hair undone. Like, let me do that right now. Anyways, now that I'm all comfortable and everything, let me give you the story. So I initially thought that I'd be having my first child married like husband, and I also thought I'd be having my first child like in my 30s. I wanted to use my 20s to live my life, have fun, do everything that I desire, but God had different plans for me, clearly. And when I found out, I broke down. I'm not even gonna lie, I broke down. I was like, I had so many things planned for my life, I had so many things I wanted to do. I was like, what is this? Am I even ready to be a mother? Let alone, am I gonna be a good mother? Because it's one thing to be a mother, and I'm one person who likes excelling in the things that I do. And I'm like, am I ready to be a mother? Am I really ready? And I had to take in all that. So it was a solid week. I'd been suspecting and expecting my period, but my period had delayed. And I'm one person whose period never really delays because I have a very stable cycle. I'm not on family planning and in a long distance relationship, so I really do not get involved into the kind of life as much. When I don't see my period, I'm freaking out. I'm like, what's going on? Like, what the hell is going on? And I'm like, I could, wait for a few more days and get tested. So days go by and I'm like, no, something is very, very off about this particular period. I go to the hospital and I get the test. It was a urine strip. I didn't get my blood tested. So I was with one of my best friends and I'm like, okay. The doctor's like, listen, these things happen, and some of y'all may be coming to me and be like, oh Priscilla, you get engaged and get involved and do not even take anything. I did take the emergency pills. But here's what happens. If your body is ovulating and you take the pill, it's not gonna work because your body is literally gonna fight the pill. It so happened that my partner and I were together at the time when I was ovulating, and when I took the pill, my body just fought and overpowered the pill. So I found out I was pregnant at the hospital and they're like, yeah. And when I did my research, that's when I found out that this is what exactly happened. So that's why you find that there are girlies that are gonna tell you, oh my god, I took the pill and it did not work. Girl, one of the reasons it might not have worked, aside from having counterfeits or having false pills, you could have been ovulating. So with that out of the way, I find out I'm devastated, but this is something my man and I had discussed before, because even before we got intimate and everything, I told him, listen, I intend to get married, I intend to be a mother one day, and I need a clear plan. If you're dating me, you need to be clear with me. Like, we're not playing. I'm not dating to play. And I had that conversation. I'm like, okay, listen, even way before we got intimate, I was like, listen, if this happens because we're adults and things happen like they happened, what next? What's your opinion? I want to hear from you. And I let him speak, and he's like, babe, listen, I'm not here to play with you, okay? If something happened, we are dating not just to play around, but we're dating for marriage. So when all this happened, I let him know. I tell him, scared as heck, I tell him that, hey, listen, I'm expecting. And he's like, oh, okay, what do you want? And I list down a few things that I wanted him to do, and he was able to do them. And yeah, we're now happily expecting our baby. But let me warn y'all, listen, when you go to pray to God, prepare for the prayer you're asking God for. Because for me, listen, I'm one person who loves to pray for things before they happen. I started praying for my husband when I was 18. I started praying for my career, my university, way before I entered university. I'm that kind of person. So it was no different with my children, right? Or kids. So I knew exactly which children I want and how I want them. So of course, it's my prayer board, it's in my journals, it's something I've prayed about and I've fasted about. I just didn't know it was coming really quickly, okay? So July 2024, I go to a baby's home with one of my best friends, and they tell us, write on a piece of paper what you want. Those who want children, you could write it there. I'm like, listen, what do you mean those who want children? I'm like, this is the time I'm actually praying for my future. So I was like, let me write down the children that I want, and I start, I add it to the list of the things that I want. On that paper, which is this paper, I wrote down the children that I wanted, which is 2 boys and 2 girls, and I wanted twins. I'm like, I want girls to be twins. So I'm like, yeah, that's beautiful. That is amazing. That same year, like 2024 itself, I was pregnant, okay? And I asked God, I'm like, God, why would you do this to me? Like, why would you do this to me? I'm not ready. I have so many plans, I have so many goals, I have so many dreams, visions, everything. And being a mom at 23, was I ready? I don't know. But when God decides to do something, you need to trust him. Because if he's gonna put you in a situation, he's gonna provide for you, he's gonna give you the wisdom to actually maneuver the situation. He's gonna help you, he's gonna be there for you. And that was the thing that made me stand the most. I was like, listen, when I found out, I knew the direction we're going, okay? I knew the direction we were going, and I was devastated, of course. And I know children are a blessing. And for me, at that time, the biggest fear for me was labor. Why? Because I know it's not easy. I understand it's not easy and everything. But then again, I also have a God who will give me strength and help me go through the entire process and be able to, deliver in the way that I've prayed to him. And I just keep telling him, let your will be done in my life. But for someone who over plans their life, not really over planning, but for someone who likes things in a certain way, and I'm that kind of person who doesn't want to be caught off guard. And that's something God has really worked on me. Like, he teaches me so much how to trust him, even when things don't look like, I should stay there and trust in him. As much as I was scared of being a young mother and being a mother in general, I am grateful to God that he's able to trust me with life. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but every child deserves to have a life. And I'm so thankful to God that maybe through my life, I could inspire someone out there. But yeah, your girl's gonna be a mother, and that does not mean I'm not gonna achieve my goals, my dreams, and everything. I'm back on my Zoom. I am so grateful that I have a very supportive team, and I am looking forward to this journey. And yes, subscribe because you're gonna be seeing a lot of me. And then when my child gets here, you're gonna see that too. And anyways, when I was around 2 months pregnant, I had a dream. Okay, I had a dream, and in that dream, I dreamt of the gender of the baby. Okay, and I told my man, babe, I think we're gonna have this baby. I also told my best friend, I was like, listen, I had this dream. I told one of my best friends, I was like, listen, girl, I think this baby's gonna be a baby. You know, the baby you're gonna find out. So when I was at the doctors, they give me the, the gender. I wanted it to be in a cake because I wanted, just for the plot. So after all that, we're talking with the baker, and she's like, what child were you expecting? I'm like, well, I had a dream. I told her the dream, and she's like, wow, it's actually that gender. I'm like, girl, stop. God, is this you? God, this is you speaking to me and telling me these things are happening. So yeah, so I'm gonna show you the cake because yeah, that's the gender we're having. Before I show you the cake, please comment, please subscribe, and please join my family. You can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I'm gonna be more on here, and I'll be sharing this journey with you guys, and also my other content, the vlogs, and you guys gonna be able to get to know me a little bit more because YouTube gives me a lot more time than the vlogs I post on TikTok. So I'm gonna be more active on here. As soon as my schedule is established, I will be dropping that. And thank you for, no, wait. Let me show you the gender of the baby, and then you guys can see. It's a, what am I gonna tell you? Okay. Okay. I really hope it tastes really nice. What do you guys think? Damn, I'm gonna show you guys. Hold on. This thing is hard to open. I'm almost there though. Okay. Are you guys ready? Guys, we're having a baby boy. I'm gonna wait for my friend. She's coming over. We're gonna cut the cake together. So that's the end of the video, and see you in the next video.